So, here's an update that nobody asked for. Just a quick check-in where I'm at the moment. I don't mean geographically, I mean physically and mentally, spiritually, whatever, you know what I mean. So, I'm very excited about the future, what's coming, without overly concerning myself what that looks like, but tapping into the knowing of what it feels like, and fully knowing that I am ready. Whilst finally embracing rest as well. Truly. Like, I have manifested a space where I don't really have to give more of myself than I have available. And at the same time, I am here through choice, but there isn't a choice of another space where, for example, where I could have a say over what energy comes through the doors. But it's perfect because it's forcing me to confront the aspects of myself that has a preference in terms of other humans, you know. Our job, should we choose to accept it, is to come to know how to love everybody effortlessly by being love, and love taking the form that it needs to take, rather than trying to box the world off. You know, my world or the rest of the world. We can't live like that really, because it's fairly evident that heaven is not here in its entirety. So, this space that I manifested for myself from the streets, and mind you, I just want to speak on the fact that this space is not tied to a name or any agencies. I'm here as a man, a nameless man. After being on the streets, which was as close to this space as I could get. Except there's more movement that's needed living on the streets. Or at least you have to have access to that. But I've done a lot of moving in this life. It's been a lot of movement. So to be able to just sit and reflect and be in gratitude for the fact that there's this space where, you know, I can do what I want. And I don't mean that in a manipulative, selfish way, because what I want is to do God's will. I just mean I'm free to be myself. The man who this house belongs to is such a beautiful soul. and society could not and would not understand him because, I don't know, labels, doctors' diagnoses, all of that stuff. But a heart can understand a heart. It transcends language. So it's been a beautiful experience to extricate the residue of the predator within me, because there's a mirror here reflecting how this man, the soul, has been neglected, abused, manipulated. At one point in my life, I was blessed with the inability to hide or run from my shadow, or the refusal to do so and carry on being a victim of my own projections. I see how the hologram shows us what we need to see, or what we think we need to see, or it's all what we need to see. Because everything is pushing us into a different awareness, correct awareness of life. It's the only way to measure your own heart. Last night, I had such a powerful conversation with the man here. Because he talks about the past a lot, and he thinks in timescales relative to his childhood and all sorts of quantum peculiarities. And this is another thing, right? It's been a very humbling experience in seeing where I think that I know best, and then seeing it's okay to release control and stop trying to provoke changes in people who you haven't got the first clue about what they actually need. Just applying your own limitations or projecting your own needs onto others, implying that they must think like you. This is being good for that, right? But I was trying to be sympathetic last night, talking about this, about like living in the past or whatever, and I was talking about the way that we're going and the fact that we're here now. And he said, "Oh, you mean facing the future? Yeah, I just have to do it like that so I can see the future." And it blew my mind, and it stopped me and instantly changed the way that I perceive the world. So I am balancing, and I guess it's about calibrating the masculine and feminine energies within, but resting in order to bring the manifestations into my life going forward. That is God's will. And getting excited about what's to come, and not getting carried away, but imagining, drawing the blueprints in my mind's eye. Just not getting pulled away into my imagination when there is work to do here and now, always, wherever I am. Because I've noticed that I have slipped, from my actual responsibilities. Because I do have a responsibility to dream and dream big and loud, but at the same time, I also have responsibilities that are grounded in the physical 3D, wherever I am. the responsibility to be aware and to be love, to emit love. I feel very much like a parent, and I have done all my life really, but I mean in this particular situation, I'm seeing where my freedom can rub up against the freedoms of others, because freedom takes many forms, it has many facets. I'm just happy to be here and very grateful. I'm also allowing myself to feel grateful for the future that is coming, the changes, the happiness. And that's not like extra happiness, it's like fully arriving at a place where I'm able to accept happiness fully, truly, as a mode of existence, and not be apologetic that I have found bliss and joy in my life just because other people haven't yet, or chose different, or that's it's not relative to the beauty that I see in life. It's not relative to how present I can be when I'm doing the things that I love, when I'm fully engaged in life. Now, when doing nothing is one of the things that we can take joy from in this life, we will never settle for anything ever again. You're so beautiful. You are. Just because you exist. When you die, that will be beautiful. Unless you choose to live forever. In which case, you will cease to be beautiful and become